Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P Funk, thinking right out here in the lab. I'm in two books. I got lessons I'm simultaneously doing because I got the information I want to get out of one to let you know this is all ties in. So that's the lesson for the day. Let's get it. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune into receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to attain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through, because that's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you know how to answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself, and to my yacht, be true. We're talking about, right thinkers, the 5 disciplines of yoga, and I'm going to take you down to what is Egyptian yoga. It's a 2-in-1 lesson. But before we get started, I wanted to read this because this is the book we're going to next, The Glorious Light of Meditation. I took excerpts from the book every now and then, use a lesson. But when I get done with this one we're going to teach you how to get your yogi on, get your meditation on. I'm a practicing yogi. So let me tell you right quick. It asks, this is advanced. This book here, a little more advanced. Let me show you what it means. I'm going to read from chapter 2, part 2. The gloss of the story of Het-Hadu and Tahuti. You know the story, you might not remember it that way, but I'll get to that later. Right now I want to make a point. What is enlightenment? Quick. Enlightenment is the ultimate discovery of oneself. When you put that with spiritual, I mean you got God with the spirit knowledge. So you are enlightened to God. That's the ultimate as human beings. The purpose for here is to do just that. Know thyself. Who am I? That's the question you need to answer. Why am I here? Another question you'll be able to answer. And what can I do to experience glory, peace, contentment, joy, and more importantly, immortality in life and in the hereafter? Meaning there's a life after this one. They had that concept. In order to get there, you had to be enlightened. That means you had to be taught. She taught. She taught her son. Aset taught Haru. That's our mothers teaching us, me and you. What are the 5 steps to enlightenment? Just like there's 5 steps category I'm about to break down to you for yoga disciplines, I'm going to break down the 5 things that you need to know for 5 steps. In ancient Egypt, scripture of Het-Hadu and Tahuti is in this book. Nice, it plays out. You have 5 principles that are set forth by our ancient Egyptian sages. These principles, again, principles, philosophies, are designed to do what? To lead a human being to what? Spiritual enlightenment, just like the religion, just like yoga. Everything for the human being that's being taught to you is to get you to know God. 5 steps are: you start out, we're born ignorant. That's a gimme. That's okay. That's one of the steps. Get past that one. Ignorant means not to know. Okay? Next one is find a spiritual preceptor. Somebody who can teach and give you the understanding. And then you have get your wisdom of self-knowledge. Remember, the best knowledge is self-knowledge. Why is that? You are God, and when you realize that, that's the best knowledge you can obtain. The highest level, nihas. Maya have to be in the mix. You practice equanimity, justice, divine, reciprocity, order, balance. All those good things is what Mayat represents, and the 42 confessions, negative confessions, she also represents that. And my favorite, meditation. Those are the 5 steps to enlightenment. Okay? That's from the glorious light meditation. I'm doing that next, but I put that aside right now. I got books everywhere. I'm like Cat Williams. In my lab, books is like you said, the weed. To me, knowledge, I got so much goodness and so much knowledge, I could just pick out either one and just have at it. Right now, I'm doing Egyptian yoga. All right, let's get to the lesson. Hope you enjoyed that little breakdown. Now, let's talk about the 5 steps of yoga disciplines. The disciplines of yoga fall under the 5 major categories. Okay? These are yoga of wisdom, obtaining knowledge, yoga of devotional love, showing respect and worship to God daily, yoga of meditation, spend time to commune with God daily, tantric yoga, and selfless service or selfless action. The tantric yoga, I tell you, that's when 2 people come together and they Kama Sutra. They got different sexual positions. I ain't doing none of that. Swinging from the chandelier, jump up the dresser. I ain't doing none of that. Okay? Been there, done that too. I'm getting too old. Like my man, Warren, what's the Danny Glover? I'm getting too old for that. I am too old for that. So that's tantric yoga. Okay, another concept. Okay, that you can practice and master. It works. And then yoga of selfless service. That's right thing of philosophy. That means action. To do. I read. Do good work and you get good results. Do bad work, you get karma. Moving on. Okay. When these disciplines are practiced daily in a harmonized manner, this practice is called, you ready? Integral yoga. I gave a lesson on that years ago. I just said the book was 20-something. Okay, but the idea is to practice all of it integrally. Use them when you need them. I just know yoga of wisdom. Okay, well, you don't know yoga of devotion, you know yoga of meditation, tantra, and yoga of selfless service. You don't know jack. Sorry about that, but that's the idea. So if you don't know them, you can't use them. Having something and not needing to use it is cool. But needing something and not having it, that's not good. Okay? So integral yoga is used when you have mastery of all of them. Now within these categories, there are, again, subsidiary forms which they act as part of the main disciplines. Add a little quirks here and there. But the emphasis on the Commission, Asar myth is on the yoga of wisdom, my favorite. And also yoga of devotion. Why? Paying homage to God. Another one of my favorites. I call it Christians yoga devotional study because they love Christ. No problem with that. They show it. That's cool. And then you got my favorite. Right thinking philosophy is based with yoga of selfless service. I'm here every day. Okay, I practice that daily, like I tell you. The important point to remember here is that all aspects of yoga can and should be what? Used, first of all, mastered, so that way you can use them when needed in an integral fashion and to effect an efficient and a harmonized spiritual movement in the practitioner, you yourself. Therefore, while there may be area of special emphasis that you particularly like, and we all find it. That's what you do. But watch this. The other elements are bound to become what? Part of your yoga program as needed. I love this. For example, okay, a quick example. While a yogin, a practitioner of yogi, aspirant, initiate, you rookie, just coming in. I was there over 10 years ago. Now, you may place your emphasis. When I came in, my emphasis is on yoga of wisdom. I just want to know. I just want to know. I want to know. I just want knowledge. But in the process, I end up practicing all of them. Okay, but they may be also practice what? Devotional yoga, did that. And meditation, did that. Along with the wisdom and the studies I learned from those things. So if I need to act or be, I had that knowledge. What? I practice it. Because so the practice of any yoga discipline that leads to oneness with the supreme consciousness can be called yoga. Religions are supposed to do that in their purest form, but it's been cut. Sorry, y'all got commercial. Y'all ain't getting the pure stuff. All right, I got the pure stuff. That's why I ain't going nowhere. Why? I know my stuff is good, but he got. I don't care. He had. Don't care. I know what I got is good. I do it. If you study, practice, and live, rationalize, and you reflect upon those teachings, what happened? Now you are practicing what they call yoga of wisdom. Know that because I did that. Been there. If you meditate, and I got over 10 years on this thing now, upon the teachings, and I do that on a regular basis, and of your higher self, God, you are practicing yoga of meditation, slipped in with a little yoga of devotion. Okay? Because when God's in the mix, you show devotion by what? Worshiping and serving him in earnest. And what he do for you in return? Bless you. Moving on. You ain't got to be a Christian, Muslim, or Jew to get blessed. No. All you got to do is do good deeds. I don't know who that is. I don't know nobody in Maryland. I don't know nobody out there. Okay, but right there, where we at? Okay, so now, thus, whether or not you refer to it such, if you practice what? Rituals which identify you with your spiritual nature, guess what? You are practicing yoga of ritual identification. And some people love rituals. I was a teacher. I like the act and the purpose of it. So when it's time to do it, I'll be prepared, I'm ready, and I enjoy doing that. Moving on. But that's what it is, a ritual for those who are coming in. It gets old at a certain point in time for some people. Yeah. So, but me being the orchestrator of it, it never gets old. I never get tired of killing you and then raise you from the dead. I guess that was back then, that was my little personal ego trip. I can kill you. I can bring you back. So that was a philosophy that we practice. And people tell you, tell me what makes it do. If I tell you I gotta kill you. Philosophically, metaphorically, yeah, but not literally. That's the problem. Again, we think in literal terms. Some people understand symbolism and metaphors and esoteric teachings. All right, but when you practice that, you practice ritual of identification. You identify with the ritual, which is fine. Which is part of the yoga of what? Wisdom. I know that. Practice. The Commission, Greek, Indian, Nana are what the yoga of devotional love. That's y'all blissed out sisters, I call them. Y'all religious people who know Jesus, who live right and do right, and you experience Jesus, so you just wear it like a badge of honor. I ain't got a problem with y'all at all. I love y'all. Why? The sincerity of y'all makes it work for me. Why? I know you're not BSing. Most of them who do that, they full of crap. But the ones who got to earn this, I know. All right? Now, you got Commission, Ushat, India, they call it Bhakti of the divine. Now, if you develop your physical nature, I do that every day, going to the gym. In your psychic energy centers, what you doing? Practicing serpent power yoga. I gave you that 2 books ago, I think it was. In Kemet, we call it the Uraeus. In Indian, they call it Kundalini. Excuse me, okay? Yoga. what's going on with this belching nonsense? Excuse me. Which is part of the tantric yoga, okay? And if you practice living according to the teachings of ethical, moral behavior, and selflessness, you know what you're practicing? Right thinking philosophy. You're practicing yoga of action. Again, right thinking philosophy, because that's what I pattern after. That's my favorite. In Kemet, they call it Maya. And ding, 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 ding. See? In Indian, they call it karma. In daily life, if you practice turning your attention towards God, the divine, by developing your love for God, then it's called devotional yoga or love of the divine or divine love. Whatever. You should have that for God. And most Christians and Muslim Jews have it for Allah, Christ, and Yahweh. I understand. I get it. I got love for my God. I understand that. Now, you, the practitioner of yoga, is called a yogini. A yogin, which is the male practitioner. Yogini, with the I, is the female. In Egypt, if the name ends in T, most likely it's the female, okay? Female practitioner, or the term yogi, may be used to refer to either a female or male practitioner in the general terms, but it means one who has attained what? The accumulation of yoga, meaning the 5 disciplines, and the union with who? God, divine, is also called a yogi. Now, in this manner, yoga has been developed into many disciplines, not just 5, which may be used in what they call, again, the integral fashion when needed. When I'm in church, I'm doing devotional love, yoga of devotional love. What? I'm in church, the house of God, I'm showing devotion to God. When I'm in my lab, I'm showing what? Yoga of what? Wisdom. I'm practicing, studying, and preparing to teach. So I do my homework too. I'm going to hold myself accountable to do what I need to do. That's the first thing. If you're a master, you better be teaching the students what? By showing them. All the masters who sit back and do nothing, I ain't one of them. Okay, I'm going to get involved. Moving on. But the whole idea is to be able to use all your skills in your fashion intricately to what? To achieve what all of them do what? The same goal. I told you. And what's that goal? Enlightenment. Be it religion, whatever one, the whole night, the whole goal is to enlighten you. So if you're a Christian, you can practice right thinking philosophy. It don't stop you from being a Christian, Muslim or Jew. I fellowship with all of y'all. I ain't got a problem. So it go both ways, I would think. My philosophy is bisexual. It go both ways. Oh no, I want LGBT on my back. Leave me there alone. About moving on, sorry. But therefore, you, the aspirant, has to learn about all of the paths of yoga to get to know thyself. And then you choose those or that one element of the concept which what? Best suits you. That's right thinking. You got 5 choices. You learn them all. Get to understand how they work, what's about, what, and then you find the one that suits you. I did it. I got my favorites. Okay, you got kids. Stop lying, parents. Y'all got a favorite. Okay, the one that reminds most of you, that's the favorite. I got mine. The first one, don't care. The rest of me, I don't care. I ain't got a problem with that stuff. All right, but you find the one that best suits what? Your personality. That's the whole purpose. There's options. How many options? I got many options. And knowing thyself, you got many options too. Pick one. And you practice it. You work them all into what? An integral, balanced way of life. Practice whatever you need to practice when? Daily. I don't care what you pick, whatever one, how many, but you practice it to what? Master it. I have self-mastery. I didn't just get that. It took work and it acquired years of hard work and dedication and consistency to reach that level. So I know it ain't easy, but I know it's possible. Moving on. That's what I'm saying. I'm about to wrap it up. Enlightenment is the term used what? To describe, pay attention, the highest level of spiritual awakening. Once you know you, that's all you need to know. You don't need to know philosophy. You need to know geology, all that. No, you just really need to know you. And if you learn the other thing, that's fine. That's cool. That's the whole point. You got options, but don't let you not know you be an option that you don't have. No, that's the first one you should take. You get you. Before I got here and do any of this, I was doing me. I know all of this. Why? I learned it years ago. I lived it, put it into effect. Now I can teach it. I had no idea 10 years ago I would be doing this. Again, you don't know. Oh, I don't know. You know. I had you. If you'd have told me that guy would be doing this, I said, you crazy as all get up. Moving on. Enlightenment, again, is a term used to describe the highest level of spiritual awakening, meaning you have knowledge of self in every aspect of your character. That's the idea of mastering the gods, emulating them, eating them, being whatever you want to call it. All that comes into play, metaphorically, symbolically. It means attaining such a level of spiritual awareness of oneself, and one discovers what? The underlying unity. Of what? The entire universe, as well as what? The fact. Not an idea, not a concept. No, a fact that the source of all creation is the same source from which the innermost yourself within every human heart arises. God is in all of us. We got to become conscious of that. My job is to help you do just that. Become conscious. He's already there. You just got to recognize it. My job is to help you along the way, so to speak. Okay? I'm going to stop there because I got a whole nother lesson coming up to break down what is Egyptian yoga and the term of Egyptian yoga and the philosophy behind it. So stay tuned. I got more for you. And in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100, 100 miles a day. So I never know that my right thinkers who practice what? The philosophy, the yoga, have passed away.